Born in Cameroon in a very poor family without option, the young man started to work in a sand mine. We can say that it is a curse to be born in that poor condition, but we can also say that it is a blessing that that young man started to work in such a young age in a sand mine, because that's the place where he developed that physical strength and power. That young man had nothing and came from nothing. He didn't even have a childhood like the normal kids, but he was determined and motivated to become someone. This is where he received his mental strength and toughness. He decided to travel to Europe with the hope to become a professional boxer. From Cameroon, he traveled to Nigeria. From Nigeria to Algeria. From Algeria to Morocco. That man have mentioned it, that he was trapped 1 year in Morocco, and have mentioned it, that it was hell. In the future, he succeeded to enter the European continent and travel to France. This man was homeless in the city, Paris. Later in that year, he have met someone who helped him to change his destiny. His name is Fernando Lopez, the owner of MMA Factory. Fernando Lopez let him train and sleep in his gym for free. Fernando Lopez have guided that man to the mixed martial arts because he saw that he have more potential in that fighting style. He wasn't in the big league, but he won 3 times by submission. But the very moment he entered the UFC, he started to knock out his opponent with the power I believe he have developed in a sand mine.
Phone to try to get a matchup with Ngannou. Down goes the Reeve. Francis. Boom.
His name is Francis Ngannou. Francis Ngannou finally made it to the title fight against the greatest heavyweight champion in the UFC history, Stipe Miocic. That fight started, but you have noticed something very important. Francis depends too much on his power and started to slow down. His wrestling and ground game wasn't that good.
Stipe is a quick duck in. Nice 1-2. Beautiful. He's hurt. Goodness gracious. Stipe shoots again.
He lost that fight. After that fight, Francis lost against Derek Lewis. Many speculated that Francis have lost his confidence, but to be honest, even though he lost a little bit his confidence, Francis knows the danger of facing Derek Lewis. When we talk about knockout power, they are almost equal. Derek Lewis have more knockouts than Francis Ngannou. One mistake against Derek Lewis and the fight is over.
On each other's radar.
From a distance. He sees it, boom! On the chin, that was it. Delayed reaction, he falls down, 1.
Francis Ngannou parted way with Fernando Lopez. I don't know why, but rumors spread that they don't get along anymore. Francis gained his confidence back and started to knock out his opponent.
There for Biggie Boy. Oh! Oh! It's over. Rosen's strike is out. Whoa! Ngannou.
He even managed to avenge his loss.
And leave these big openings.
Oh! Knockout! Nice counter right.
And is the current UFC champion. In his last 2 fights, we have noticed something very important. The Predator have evolved. He is more calculated and patient.
DC in Cleveland.
You
this
can
is
tell.
25.
Oh! Oh! Stipe took that though.
His takedown defense.
Early shot from Stipe.
This is big. This is a big
Oh, this is actually improved takedown defense by Ngannou.
His wrestling and ground game have improved.
The training.
Yeah.
That's what Francis said.
Francis Ngannou is more dangerous than ever. Francis Ngannou, the Cameroonian MMA fighter, have relinquished his belt. He and the UFC didn't manage to find a solution, so they parted ways. Jon Jones will face Cyril Gane for the UFC belt. Francis wanted a better contract, health assurance, and especially do some boxing to get more money. I believe it's fair to say that if Conor McGregor is allowed to do that, Francis may do it as well. Conor was a champion during his transition to boxing. It's the same story for Francis Ngannou. It is a complicated story, but one thing is sure. In the UFC, it's the end of the three African kings because there are no champions no more. But they have the opportunity to fight for the belt. The true greatest heavyweight boxer of this era wants to challenge Francis Ngannou, Deontay Wilder, and Tyson Fury. Deontay Wilder is an American boxer with a record of 43 wins and 2 losses. Deontay Wilder has 42 knockouts. He is a force of nature. Deontay is not the most technical striker in his division, and when he hits, he seems to be stiff, but he fights well at distance.
For the first minute, his face is catching everything. Last minute, jab, boom, the right hand on the button. He's got knockdown power.
The main problem is when he starts to swing with his punches. If he hits his opponent clean, it's game over.
Draw. Boom. Leaping shot. The Bird has not fought a fight.
Only Tyson Fury have survived the power of Wilder.
Here's Jim Gray.
Francis Ngannou versus Deontay Wilder. I believe that in boxing, this is a better matchup for Francis Ngannou because Wilder is not that technical and doesn't have the best head movement like Tyson Fury. I may be wrong, but Wilder seems to stay in front of his opponent. This may be good because Francis will be able to touch his opponent. But that doesn't mean that he will win this fight. Boxing and MMA is a different game. I believe that if Francis Ngannou managed to have a good stamina, he may do some good stuff, but Deontay Wilder have clearly the advantage. Now I will say my honest opinion. I truly hope that this fight happen so that Francis Ngannou can get his money. After that fight, he must return to the UFC. Francis Ngannou belongs in a top MMA organization, and many want to see him fight Jon Jones. This video have come to an end. Leave a comment below in the comment section. Like, share, visit, and follow my channel. Thank you for watching. See you next time.